George Ford, coming back in, and not a surprise, but Borthwick had a lovely line about George Ford today and just how much he hear about George Ford as a coach all the time. But what did he say today about George Ford?
He said if he wants to be, he will be the England coach in the future, which is high praise, especially as they could overlap in their coaching tenures. So is Steve Borthwick there in a strange way sort of picking his own successor? Who knows? It depends how long he does it for, I suppose, and when George Ford decides to turn his hand to coaching full time. But so many people, Richard Wigglesworth, Steve Borthwick, big coaches in the English game have made this point before. George Ford on that Argentina tour worked in tandem with Lee Blackett. Lee Blackett was obviously in charge and not taking anything away from Lee, but it was a very communal, harmonious working relationship between the two of them in terms of England's attack. And because it needs to be. Obviously, you need an attack coach to put the framework in and to give guidance and to do all the nuts and bolts. But then it's actually Ford who's in charge of it on the field. So really, if you can have that symbiotic relationship between fly half and attack coach, it's only going to stand you in good stead. And that's what England have got at the minute. And actually, I think George Ford, at the minute, the number 10 jersey is his. I think if Freeman or Daly had been fit, Finn would have been on the bench over Marcus. Marcus has to be there because they've not got any fullback cover. So I don't think it's sort of curtains for Finn Smith by any stretch of the imagination. But I do think at the minute, George Ford is winning the battle for number 10 quite comfortably. And you have to say, on the basis of the Australia game, where he was in a new look back line with a new attack coach, maybe 7 out of 10, and then in Argentina, where he was probably 8 or 9 out of 10, it's completely deserved and merited.
Yeah. We just hear the same things, don't we? He brings calmness. Finn Baxter was talking about how he just is able to always look at the bigger picture in games when things are getting a bit heated. He never gets too caught up in the moment. Yeah, now Borthwick said that out loud. I am fully convinced that he will coach England at some point.